Hi everyone, hope you're doing well. Okay, so in this video I just want to say a few words about this particular film, The Grey Fox from 1982, as well as its star Richard Farnsworth and its director Philip Borsos. Now, I'm holding up here the DVD of this film, and it's not a great copy, I have to say, but you can get this on a Kino Lorber Blu-ray, and if you've never seen the film before, then I highly suggest that you do so. This is a really, really lovely film with a beautiful performance from Richard Farnsworth. So it's loosely based on actual events that involve a stagecoach robber back in the 1860s, 1870s, who's caught for his crimes and is sent to jail for 30 years, comes out in the beginning of the 1900s to a very different world, and he has difficulty in re-establishing himself in it. He tries to go and see his sister, who's married and who does oyster picking, and he can't get along with doing that and doesn't get along with her husband, who disapproves of his former lifestyle. So he makes an exit from that and finds himself back on the run, back on a horse, and back to doing robberies, but not stagecoaches this time. It's trains, and that's because when the time he's released from prison, it's the same time that movies are introduced, and we actually get the Great Train Robbery, one of the very first movies. So he sees that and takes inspiration from that, and then heads off to plan some train robberies himself. This is a really just a beautiful film. The performance from Richard Farnsworth in this is absolutely fantastic. Now, a lot of people are perhaps going to be familiar with Richard Farnsworth from his final film, which was in David Lynch's The Straight Story, where he played this tractor driver on a cross-country road trip to go and see his dying brother. Absolutely brilliant film. And then also perhaps you'll know him from playing the sheriff in Misery, who has a ill-fated visit to Kathy Bates's house. But yeah, absolutely love Richard Farnsworth's performance in this. It's just such a tender and delicate performance, equally as good as the performance that he gives in The Straight Story. So yeah, just for his performance alone, it's worth checking this film out. But yeah, Richard Farnsworth, such an interesting character, an actor who has worked for decades in film. Like I say, he did pass away just after The Straight Story in 2000. But yeah, he started as a stuntman in movies. And so his first film as a stuntman actually was on the Marx Brothers film A Day at the Races. But just listen to a moment for some of the other films that he got involved with as a stuntman. And those films include Gunga Din, Gone with the Wind, The Grapes of Wrath, Fort Apache, Red River, Nicholas Ray's The Lusty Men, The Wild One, starring Marlon Brando, Cecil B. DeMille's epic The Ten Commandments, Spartacus, the epic western How the West Was Won, Cat Ballou, The Great Race, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, Paint Your Wagon, The Omega Man, High Plains Drifter, Papillon, and Blazing Saddles. So yeah, such a huge career for Richard Farnsworth, but really, in terms of his acting, it is those performances in Misery, The Straight Story, and this one, The Grey Fox, which absolutely are essential for seeing what he's like as an actor. But yeah, really beautiful stuff. Now, when it comes to the director, Philip Borsos, now he's a Canadian film director, actually nearby from Vancouver, and this was his feature film debut at the age of just 27, and absolutely the best film in his career. Sadly, he had quite a short-lived career because he died at the age of 41 from leukemia. So only a few films to his credit. Now, one that I do particularly quite like is this one, which I saw at the cinema on release, and that is The Mean Season. It's a little bit underdeveloped, but really excellent performance in this one from Kurt Russell. It's a serial killer thriller. Kurt Russell playing a newspaper journalist who's on the hunt for this serial killer. A role here for Mariel Hemingway as well. Again, underdeveloped role, sadly, but yeah, this is still a pretty meaty thriller worth seeing. And then he also directed this one, One Magic Christmas, which I'm not sure if I can entirely recommend it, but it's definitely interesting and worth seeing. It's a Christmas story, but quite a depressing one. There's a fair bit of death and misery that's involved here. But nonetheless, we do get a really nice performance from Mary Steenburgen, and we have Harry Dean Stanton playing a guardian angel, sitting in a tree playing a harmonica, no less. So yeah, it definitely is a film that has its interest, but tonally, I'm not sure if it really works to give you that Christmas spirit. And then the cinematography on The Grey Fox. A lot of this was filmed in Canada, including places such as Kamloops. But yeah, beautiful film to look at. And the cinematography is by Frank Tidy. And he was the cinematographer who actually worked on Ridley Scott's very first film, The Duelists, which is definitely noted for its incredible visual look. So there you go, just a few words there on The Grey Fox from 1982. Its star Richard Farnsworth and director Philip Borsos. Let me know if you've seen this film. I think it's a really wonderful film, definitely worth seeing. Like I say, you can get it on a Kino Lorber Blu-ray. Okay, thanks very much for watching this. Do look out for more videos coming soon. All the best to you. Bye-bye.